So, in 2025, the global music throne, it got taken back. After a couple of years away from that top spot, one artist from Puerto Rico didn't just climb his way back, he totally rewrote the rules of being a global superstar. You know who I'm talking about? Bad Bunny. Let's just start with the headline number because it's insane. In 2025 alone, Bad Bunny racked up over 19.8 billion streams on Spotify. And just to be clear, that's not his career total. That's for 1 year. It's a number so big, it's kind of hard to even wrap your head around. So that leads us to the big question, right? How did he do it? This wasn't just some victory lap. No, this was a masterclass in strategy, in being authentic, and in building a real community. So let's pull back the curtain and see the blueprint behind this absolutely record-shattering year. Okay, here's how we're going to break down his total dominance. We'll look at the mind-blowing streaming numbers, the album that was the engine for everything, his totally unique way of collaborating, the crazy staying power of his old music, where his fans actually are, and finally, the Benito blueprint that pulls it all together. All right, first up, let's talk about the sheer scale of what he accomplished. This wasn't just a good year. This was a historic performance that put him right back on top of the entire music world. And to really get how big this win was, you have to see who he was up against. After 2 straight years of Taylor Swift at the top, Bad Bunny came back and reclaimed that #1 global spot. This was his 4th time as Spotify's most streamed artist. I mean, look at that list of absolute titans. He didn't just win, he took the crown back. So how did he pull it off? Well, at the very heart of this incredible year was one single project, his 6th solo album, DeBÍ TiRAR MáS FOToS. But you have to understand, this was way more than just a track list. It was the engine driving his entire 2025 takeover. You know, both critics and fans were calling this his most Puerto Rican album ever. It goes deep into traditional sounds like salsa and plena, which is this amazing folk music from the island, while at the same time, it's tackling these huge themes of cultural identity and colonization. This wasn't music made for the charts. It was a powerful, authentic, and political statement. And look, the album was a monster hit right out of the gate. But what they did next, well, it's a perfect lesson in modern music marketing. One single, super strategic move took it from just a #1 album to a chart-dominating phenomenon all over again. Okay, check out how this strategy played out. The album drops in January, and of course, debuts at #1. Pretty standard for an artist this big. But then, look what happens in May. Months after the release, they drop a special edition vinyl, and that sent it shooting right back to #1 on the Billboard 200, completely reigniting all the hype. And just how powerful was that vinyl release? Get this, in a single week, it sold over 48,000 copies. That's at an all-time record for the biggest single-week vinyl sales for any Latin album. Just a brilliant move, blending his digital dominance with the power of physical media. All right, another key pillar to his success is how he collaborates. But for Bad Bunny, it is not just about slapping a big name on a track. It's about building a genuine community, a movement. People are even calling it the Benito effect. This quote from Complex just nails it, doesn't it? On his album, he almost exclusively featured other Puerto Rican artists, and a lot of them are rising stars. He doesn't just give them a feature, he gives them the whole spotlight. It seriously feels like he's the guest on their song. It's a whole philosophy of lifting others up. And this isn't just some vague idea, it is backed up by cold, hard data. Just look at the listener spikes for the artists he brought on stage during his historic residency in Puerto Rico. Reynal saw a 26% jump, We Sin got a 41% jump, and the traditional plena group Los Pleneros de la Cresta got a massive 46% increase. He's not just an artist, he's a platform, and his cosign is a real, measurable, career-changing impact. Next up is a factor that honestly gives him an almost unfair advantage, the power of his older music. His back catalog isn't just collecting dust. It's an active, powerful engine that's always running, always pulling in streams. Just think about this for a second. His album Un Verano Sin Ti, which came out way back in 2022, was still one of the top 10 most streamed albums in the entire world in 2025. So while he's dominating with all this new music, he's also got this massive foundation of a modern classic that just keeps pulling in billions of streams year after year. So we've established he's the biggest artist on the planet. But where on the planet is he the biggest? The data here tells this really fascinating story about the new geography of global stardom. Look at this contrast. Globally, he's number one, not even a question. But if you zoom in and only look at the United States, he was the number 5 artist of the year. Still massive, for sure, but not at the very top. So where is his real power base? The answer is right here. During his residency, which was a moment of peak global interest, his top streaming cities weren't New York or LA. They were Mexico City, Santiago, Bogota, Lima, and Guatemala City. His core audience, his overwhelming dominance, it comes from Latin America. He is a global number one, powered by this incredibly passionate regional fan base that has basically redrawn the map of the music world. Okay, so we've seen the numbers. We've looked at the album, the collabs, the fan base. Let's put it all together now. What is the actual formula here? What is the Benito blueprint for being a modern superstar? It really boils down to this 4-step blueprint. First, lead with radical cultural authenticity. His most Puerto Rican album was his most successful. Second, build a real community by using your platform to lift up others. Third, master the strategic release, using things like vinyl to create multiple big moments. And fourth, create a lasting foundation with a back catalog of modern classics. Which really leaves us with one final thought. Bad Bunny's success in 2025 wasn't just about winning. It was about winning on his own terms, with his own sound and for his own community. So the question now is, did he just have a great year? Or did he fundamentally rewrite the entire rulebook for what it takes to be a global star in the 21st century?